Oh no, I
guys.
lost the footage.
I'll actually cry because then we miss an episode. I bet he's recording, so I'm gonna just go on as if we are recording. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to Happy Hour, the happiest of all hours in a 24-hour cycle. At least I would very much hope so. Then again, half of the people who would be watching this are either not aware that this is going on or they're sleeping. So, regardless of that fact, we've got a very, very, very special guest today. He's the resident hater of this show, but he's also a very decorated civil servant. And one could even say he's the very model of a modern civil servant. So, introducing now the Viscount Montgomery, Edward G. Home. I pronounce it Hume, but he's Edward G. Home. Edward, hello.
What an introduction. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I think it's a pretty apt introduction, I would say.
Some may say this, it's true.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, first question, I guess, is how are you doing? How's your day been?
Oh, it's been great. I've just been relaxing.
You've
Really.
been relaxing. Is that what you've been doing?
I got a new book.
You got? Oh, what book did you get?
Oh, you won't like this.
Oh no, go on.
It's Boris Johnson's book from last year. It's quite hefty, actually.
Why have you bought Boris
No, I
Johnson's
didn't
book?
buy it. I didn't buy it. I got given it.
Oh, why did you accept it?
Because quite frankly, I'm a big Boris fan.
Oh God. Well, we'll dig into that in just a bit. But anyway, this brings us to the normal question I ask all guests. I know what your answer to this is going to be, but we're going to ask it anyway. What will you be having to drink, Edwards, tonight?
Well, I did save a can of Coke for you, but then I drank it at the Lord's session. And now I've been burping quite a lot, so I hope I don't burp.
Great. Well, we can maybe serve you another Coke, metaphysically, if we can.
Yeah.
But for the audience's pleasure, I am, of course, drinking a can, as per usual, of Scrumpy Jack, because I am a lowly working class man who drinks premium British cider, apparently. So that's me reading off the can. But anyway, and that's me
Ooh,
opening the can again. Oh,
I heard that.
give me a minute. It foamed up. It's been shaken up.
Oh, has it gone up your
It
nose?
nearly spilled everywhere. Okay, right. It's okay. A disaster has been avoided. Right. Well, this brings us to the first proper segment of the show, which is asking questions about you, Edward. Who you are, where you come
Oh, yeah.
from, what do you do in your spare time and in your private time. But let's start with who you are, first of all, and where you came from. Tell us, how did you come across this community, Edward?
Long time ago, I think. I think I had someone who was, there was like a king in another UK, and then I didn't really know that this community existed, and then someone told me, and then I joined it.
Oh, who was the
Um,
someone?
I don't actually remember. I think it was
Oh,
well, Selwyn I've known for longer than I've been in this UK.
oh, right.
I don't really speak to him anymore, but he kind of introduced me to UKs generally.
Mm-hmm. That's fair enough. I mean,
Yeah,
I used to be in a fake UK like many, many, many moons ago. Like,
yeah,
because when I was like outside of this UK, I went to briefly join one, and that's where, and I think that's how I met Cheers Rafa. For those who don't know, that's like Steve R. Bruce. He's gone by other names. I first knew him as Sir Godron Brown. That was one of his like first usernames, and I was in a fake UK with him for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we all come from different places, don't we? So you came across this community. What was the first thing you did in this community? What was the first role you had?
it was. I was a conservative. What did I do?
Mhm.
I was a parliamentary private secretary, and then I started up that conservative newspaper with the NC Mark, and then I became an MP and a minister. I think that was kind of like the first thing I did.
Hold on, you had a conservative newspaper with Mark at some point?
It was well, not like it didn't go on for ages. It was Conservative Home, that they have in real life.
Oh, Reba ran something
Yeah,
like that when she was in the Conservatives under like Margaret and Brighton. She ran
yeah. I
that.
had like yeah. I don't think it went on very. It didn't go on for very long, but I did make it.
Yeah, oh, fair enough. I like little things like that in politics, like those sort of
Yeah,
little political projects. They're always quite nice
there's
to
none of it
see.
around anymore.
Oh no, you're never going to see anything like that ever again.
No,
Just like there's not really the people for it now because you
no.
need like individuals who aren't necessarily party leadership to do it because otherwise it's just like an official party paper that
Yeah,
regurgitates what the leader wants, which is just like at that point you might as well use the notices channel kind of thing.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, that's quite cool. So yeah, you were in the Conservatives for a little bit. You were a parliamentary private secretary. You had that, sort of newspaper sort of thingy or like info board, Conservative
Yeah.
Home. How long were you in politics for?
Oh, not very long. I was in politics for like a term, and then
Oh,
basically ever since that I've been in the civil service.
okay. What made you leave? What made you leave politics?
Um, I guess I didn't really like being a minister, I guess. I mean, it's more like you've got to be more public facing, and I've
Hmm.
never really been public facing in anything.
Okay, that's fair enough. So you prefer the more sort of backroom roles, like pencil
Yeah,
pusher, basically.
basically, yeah.
Which obviously brings us to what you are now, which is the very model of a modern civil servant,
Some may
as a
say
tongue
yes.
twister.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
goodness. Um, just you wait. The game later will be to recite all of the lyrics from Modern Major
Oh,
General Pirates of the like
right.
that'll be the challenge. That is not a hint, and that is not what the game will be. But anyway, so what was your first role in the civil service right after you left politics?
I restarted the National Archives like as a proper thing. Um, in well, Zorby asked me to do that. That was like my
Hmm.
first civil service job, and then what can I remember after that? I did that, and then I think it was Home Office. I've been there, I guess, mostly ever since. Oh, and
Yeah,
then
I mean,
I did Clark in between that, like kind of.
oh right. Sorry, I thought I heard something go there. And by heard something go, I mean I thought someone was trying to break into the studio. Um, sorry about that. But oh, I know what it is. I think Belle the cat is trying to enter the studio. That's why. Ladies and gentlemen, Belle the cat, the former chief mouser, is attempting to enter the studio.
No, brace yourselves.
It doesn't look like she's interested in coming in. No, she's officially disinterested now. Oh well. Goodbye, Belle.
Like me.
Um, we'll have Belle on in a future show. Don't worry. But anyway, um, so yeah, you took charge of the National Archives. I mean, I've been in charge of the National Archives twice before. Well, there was once
Yeah.
last year, and then once in 2022. Um, I like the archives. The archives are really cool. What sort of stuff did you get up to with the archives?
Well, I stayed up. I think it was from. It was like 9 o'clock in the evening to 1 o'clock in the morning. With Jeff. Well, uh, Jeff, yeah. And we were just
Mhm.
doing the whole civil service thing because that wasn't there when I took it over. So that was kind of like one of the biggest additions, I'd say. And then it was obviously all the photos, documents. Um, it was kind of more like public outreach to get people to send in stuff. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That reminds me, actually. I mean, when I was at the National Archives, I think I created two things. I created the list of government ministers, which I never really I never finished it. I don't know if it's been updated since. I need to check on that actually. I mean, I'm technically an independent MP, well, I'm speaker, and I run the BBC, so maybe I'll get involved again and help out that again. But that and the list of political party leaders for like Labour slash Social Democrats, Conservative slash Unionists, and Liberals slash Pirates. and I need to see if those are still updated as well, because those lists are quite fancy. You can see all the different party leaders from back in history, all the many Conservative leaders as well. Oh, we've actually had confirmation from Sid here. It's not been updated. I will venture off and update it myself. I will. If Krasy is listening to this, which I know he isn't, I will. I will not. I will. You'll be fine. Don't worry. All will be well. But anyway, that's enough of me talking there. I'll move on to the very next part here, which is, so yeah, you were in the National Archives, you did your stuff there. What other roles did you acquire in the civil service? Because we both know you've had plenty, haven't
Yeah, I've had a few instances.
you? Any particular
Re-
favourites? Any you want to discuss?
Home Office was good, and then Clerk was good,
Mm-hmm.
and then well, Home Office was best for policy, like behind the scenes stuff, but Clerk was kind of a lot more of a prestigious role, I guess.
Yeah, and talking about the Home Office a little bit, as you mentioned, there is like a lot of the work goes on behind the scenes. But what sort of stuff do you actually get up to as like a senior civil servant in the Home Office, like permanent secretary or like second permanent secretary? Like, what does the day to day actually look like over there?
There was a lot more before November last year. So, I mean, it kind of depends on who's like what kind of stance the department takes on things. Like, I mean, for a long while, we kind of got involved in like all service stuff. We had like regular meetings with all of the service heads. But I guess now it's more like just policy. Um, yeah, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like it just depends on. I mean, I've seen it like really operational and really not operational. I don't know whether I can say that, but I have.
Oops, sorry if my headphones cut out there a little bit. I did catch what you say. Don't worry, I did hear most of that. I think. This is what happens. The studio is ancient. It's breaking apart at the
No.
seams. Um, and as I say that, I can see that the studio battery is also plummeting. So clearly, that's a sign that I need to move along and just stop yapping. But yeah, so yeah, that's your journey in the Home Office. But also, another major role you had was your time within the Electoral Commission. I'm not referring to the short stint as
Right.
chair, but like your
Yeah.
time in the Electoral Commission
Oh, I forgot
overall.
about that.
Yeah, I
I forgot that.
know. Unbelievable, eh?
Forgot to mention it. Whoops.
Oh dear goodness. But yes, let's talk about your time in the Electoral Commission, shall we? What
Yes.
was it like over there? How painful was it?
No, it was good. I mean, when I was commissioner, things were running quite well. Um, it was under Sangus. I mean,
Mhm.
I kind of, yeah. Let's not talk about what happened afterwards. Um,
Let's
the
talk
two
about
people
everything
I,
prior.
the two people I may or may not have unbanned from politics. But yeah, I mean, the Electoral Commission is good. I mean, it's not good now, obviously. I mean, I think
Actually, that was going to
it was,
bring me on to the next part of the
yeah.
question. But yeah.
Um, Obviously, I think it was much better under kind of civil administration.
Hmm.
Um, I think realistically, kind of taking away major parts of the group from the community is bound to kind of make activity plummet because you just don't get that much engagement from it. But then again, I do understand why group management kind of did it in a way.
I mean, personally, I feel like it was just such a massive disrespect to TBU. Like
Yeah,
TBU was doing a good job, all
he
things
was. Yeah,
considered, and with everything that was going on at the time. I think TBU was the best man in the best place for that. I don't think anyone else could have really done it better, other than like Louis, for example, or
Yeah,
Sangu. But yeah, like that. That whole situation kind of annoys me. And no, I have to agree with the whole civilian rule aspect. I mean, it's kind of like with the immigration office, as you'll probably remember.
yeah.
Do you remember the immigration office when
I
you
was in
were
it.
in politics? You were in it.
I was.
Oh my, how was that?
I wasn't in it for very long, but I did like the immigration office, and I did. I have advocated it for it to return because I think it makes more sense to have kind of checks beforehand, and then you don't need to check them at the election. Like I don't remember who decided that checks at the election were more like better for activity, when realistically the whole immigration office was actually pretty good for like Home Office employment. Like you had a whole department completely run by the Home Office, and it had quite a lot of staff, and I thought it was pretty good.
I remember it was Edward Deckard who
Yeah,
ran it for most of its time, and
Jack.
seriously, I love Edward Deckard. There's lots of
It's
Edwards
good,
in this
yeah.
community that I'm a big fan of. There's lots of Edwards. Um, yeah, we had Edward Wellesley, we had Edward Deckard, we got Edward Molyneux, we got Edward Home here. We
Yeah.
got too many Edwards. I feel like we need to round up all the Edwards. I can hear the tumbleweeds going across as I've said that.
No, I agree.
I wanted to let that silence just bask real quick. Edward Litt. Okay, no, not Edward Lynn. Um,
He's in the
very
civil
funny one.
service.
Oh god. I mean, we'll talk about the House of Lords actually in a little bit. That will
Oh,
be kind of the final roundup on sort of who you are as a person. But yeah, I mean, immigration office. I'd also kind of wish it was a thing again. Those were
it
the
just made
days.
sense.
I want to go back to 2022. You know, back where I was
Nostalgia.
relevant and meant something. uh, anyway, we might as well just accelerate onwards here. We'll accelerate into your time in the House of Lords, of course, which you did one stint and then you did a return stint, didn't you? You had
Good.
like a one
Yeah.
go and then a second go.
Yeah.
Yes. So your first go in the Lords. What months was that between? I can't remember exactly.
You remember?
Um,
It's longer than I've been in there from now, I guess you'd say. It was good. It
mhm.
was normal.
Did you
Uh,
get up to much? Did you pioneer much?
uh, Not that I can think of. I think I've probably pioneered more now, to be honest.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's just quite boring.
Fair enough. Fair
I mean,
enough.
I was in household at the time, so I couldn't really pioneer much. So
Oh, well,
I
what
am in
role did you
household
have
again
in
now.
households?
I was, well, assistant private secretary, and then controller of the Lord Jameson's office.
Okay, and what was that experience like working with like the royal household and being quite close to the king and the royal family?
Well, yeah, it was very close, I guess. I mean, didn't really do much, really. Everything kind of handled itself. But I guess I just helped kind of guide things. Uh, yeah, that's good.
I mean, come on, man! You should boast about your achievements. Come on, you can get like medals for
I'm
that
not.
stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Just like get a medal for services to HM the King, and all you did was like make a
I
singular
did.
graphic for the royal Twitter or something.
I did get the medal.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's true. True facts.
Oh goodness. Not normally the follow up question to this would be how many medals do you have, but like I'm not even gonna dare go there because
I mean,
just I'm not.
I don't have Harris level medals, but I mean, I have a few.
Harris
I like
level.
them.
How many medals did Harris have? I know he had like
Harris
a
had
lot, but
Harris had like 2 less than Ryan Mountbatten or something.
oh,
So
wow, that is a lot.
basically, yeah, I mean, he had to have like reduced sets or something because he had so many.
Does he not get like the Zhukov treatment where it's like get like a chest extension or whatever in order to fit
Yeah,
all the medals?
yeah,
I found out a
probably.
fun fact about the Death of Stalin, like that film, that they actually reduced the amount of medals that Zhukov wears because they thought it would just be like too unrealistic to
I'm
actually
not
show the
surprised.
amount of medals that he actually wore.
Well, I think they have to do that with Ryan Mountbatten, to be honest, because his medals are like a pixel apart each. I mean, it's like a block of iron on his chest, really.
It's like a bulletproof chest.
Yeah, basically.
He wears it into war.
Yeah.
Whenever he rocks up into Ireland to shoot a couple of people, just bullets just bounce off his chest. He's like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, I don't know why I'm saying so much good about Ryan. He's kind of like one of the reasons I went into exile back in 2022. But oh well,
Well,
I'm
gotta
being
give him
very
credit.
nice. Oh goodness. Anyway, continuing to talk about your time in the House of Lords, let's talk about your most recent stint. Of course, actually, no. Before we do that, we should talk about the bit before you came back to the Lords. You know which bit I'm going to talk about
Oh,
here.
yeah.
You know,
My
you
stint
were
as
for a time affiliated with. I can't even remember the name of the party now. What was the party called?
I
Forward
remember.
UK. I actually genuinely forgot the name for a minute. You were part of Forwards. Do you want to have a little bit of a talk about that?
Folks, that was my 1 week stint as Dr. No. Formally, it never happened. Quite frankly, I've forgotten it ever happened, and I think everybody else should
I mean, I
too.
haven't forgotten.
Well, what can I say? Ben Henley wasn't letting me in the Lords, and quite frankly, I didn't really care.
Well, you saw what happened to Ben.
Well, yeah, Ben got worse treatment than I did, so uh, goodbye to him, I say.
I mean, just don't become the Earl of Liverpool anytime soon. That's my only
Oh,
recommendation to you.
it was my inheritance, and it got changed.
Oh
Quite
my
frankly.
god, you dodged a bullet.
Well, perhaps.
You were cruising for a community band there.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed. But instead of getting obviously that given to you, you're of course the Viscount Montgomery. You return to the House of Lords this time round. You've done a little bit of sort of political work in there. Do you want to have tell the audience what you've been up to there?
Well, I'd say the two biggest things I pushed for the abolition, because the Commonwealth was rubbish, but the thing that's replaced it is kind of worse.
Hmm.
Um, so I kind of regret that in a way. Um, but then, then I did a humble petition to get Initius removed, but he kind of crashed out before it was posted because of a media post by DNC Mark, which then got
Yep.
DNC Mark banned. So
He took Mark down with him. I mean,
yeah,
if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. This is what happens with the Canadians in this community. I mean,
yeah,
look at
not good.
Persian, Initius,
Polykeith,
Polykeith.
yeah,
Yeah,
all of them.
it's like people keep going on about like how the Athenians are the problem. In my opinion, I think these Canucks are the real issue.
Yeah, the inactive Canadians.
Other than Blair, I like Blair. Blair, please don't cancel me for this. He's running the election coverage in 2 weeks'
Oh.
time. I can't diss him. Um, oh dear goodness. But anyway, yeah, you've done a lot of work in the House of Lords, and obviously you mentioned there a bit about your sort of your criticism of the Commonwealth Office and sort of what's going on with it. You've done a little bit of a discussion already, but do you want to add anything further onto that regarding the Commonwealth Office?
I'll just say that, quite frankly, I think I can diss another civil servant. I don't think that's political. Quite
I
frankly,
think that's allowed. You're not criticizing a political
yeah,
figure.
I think that's allowed, folks. Realistically, let's be honest, we have kind of taken the old Commonwealth administration and just given one of them a new title. And quite frankly, it shows because it's just gone inactive. And he kind of one thing I didn't like is that he got angry with Gibraltar because we're criticizing the fact that he's a paper pusher. And he made everything MSA. Didn't like that I wrote an article about him. So, love him or hate him, I'm a bit annoyed.
Oh well, oh well. Well, that's pretty much all the questions I have for you regarding, who you are, where you come from, and what you get up to. So this does bring us onto a segment that's going to be very difficult for you now, which is the designated driver segment. Although you are not inebriated, we still have to call for you a designated driver because let's be honest here, you're a wealthy bastard who doesn't drive his own car. So, we're getting you a driver nonetheless. You don't have much of a choice from the audience that we have accumulated over the course of this broadcast. At least I don't think many people here that you normally speak to, but you can totally call upon anyone here to join you as the second guest.
Any of these people, quite frankly, apart from Wrightson, but I don't think he speaks in VC.
I've never heard. I think
No,
I've heard Wrightson like once. I might be misremembering though. Like, I think I am misremembering. I've never heard I don't think I've heard Wrightson in VC. That's insane. Oh god, no. Have I? I'm trying to think now. Have I or haven't I?
somebody
That's the real
called
question.
Steph. Oh, Sid doesn't speak in VC. What are these people doing?
Sid apparently can't. He's having vocal rest, as if he actually sings. Pathetic.
Like he actually talks. This
Who does he
guy,
think he
get
is?
out.
Lana Del Rey? Pathetic. I'm kidding. Hierarchy, please. He's the guy recording this. We can't diss him.
No, but don't press pause. Don't press pause.
Please don't. Um, anyway, moving swiftly on. It does appear we lack a. He's gonna give us the recording of this with a Lana backing track. I actually do like Lana Del Rey, believe it or not. I like some of the songs.
I do too.
I get that from Conor Novak, I'm afraid. I am very much a political child of Conor Novak, so I do actually like Lana Del Rey. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't appear we can get you a designated driver today, Edward, which is a little bit of a shame. But this is why we're going to replace this segment with drunken rambling, which is essentially I'm gonna let you talk a bit about the people you've worked with now. People who I guess we could have had on as your designated driver this evening, but they are sadly very much not here. So so what I'm gonna propose to you here is, will you marry me, first of all? And second of all, what I will actually propose to you is how about we talk about a couple of people who have really impacted your time in the community, people you like or people you absolutely despise. It's all on you here.
This is a great question, actually. I would say
Oh yeah.
people who have really impacted my time. I would say, let me think. We gotta say Harris. We gotta say, Fazzy. We gotta say, I think now. I'm gonna say Zorby because he offered me jobs originally when I was like a nobody. And more recently, I'd say like newer people that I've gotten to know. Wrightson, I'd say Chic, I've gotten to know better. And maybe one more, I'd say. I'm trying to think of people now.
Trying to think of as many names as possible.
Yeah. I think that's probably it, to be honest. They're
All
just
right,
good
well, that's
people.
the Oscar segment finished
Yeah.
there, where you just thank a bunch of people for
Yeah.
getting so far in life. I split this segment in two, and we'll also go here to we're going to declare this section. We're going to replace the designated driver segment with, and I'm trying to come up with a catchy name here. We'll call this segment The Rock, and you know
All right.
exactly what this segment's going to be. We can talk about Gibraltar, which is the
Ah,
major thing that you're in charge of now.
yeah.
Because we didn't really mention it in the previous segment about who you are and whatnot. So this whole 10 minutes, we're going to talk about Gibraltar now before the little game at the end, which I still have yet
Gibraltar.
to come up with. Cough. So Gibraltar, how'd you come about in Gibraltar? How'd it all start?
Um, Frankly, it was kind of like a replacement for my inheritance, frankly. Uh, so I guess kind of it was founded by obviously the people who I used to be friends with, who mostly left in November, and I kind of just came to them with a proposal to take over its, I guess, day-to-day operation. And yeah, they just said I could. Obviously, Zorby still officially owns it because it's quite hard to actually hand over a community fully. Um, but obviously, he helps out with stuff. And
Mhm.
yeah, Gibraltar, it's great. Still going.
I mean, yeah, I will admit it's kind of mad to think that, like, I mean, back in 2014, Gibraltar was literally like a barren port game. Like, it was like not even used. It was like a Royal Navy game or something that just had no assets, and it was just bland. And it's kind of weird to see that it's kind of gone from what was just like a Royal Navy game to obviously now a fully fledged community of its own. And the question I want to pose to you now is, what kind of challenges are you facing running a community like that, you know, on your own or
Um,
like with the team that you have?
well, I guess it's got two managers, so it's me and Quasi really, but I mean, I kind of push for most things. I guess the challenges are, I mean, activity always. I mean, Gibraltar always had kind of shaky activity. It's not as stable as the UK, but we've tried to fix that by kind of um, fixing a lot of the bugs that are in the game. So there used to be problems with the GUIs, which we've kind of fixed. We've kind of given the map a bit of a touch up. It's nicer now, I'd say.
Hmm.
Um, I guess other problems are quite political engagement, but I mean, how can you keep a tiny territory politically active when the behemoth of the UK can't even remain active? So, you know, it's always a challenge, but I think it's doing well compared to the other overseas territories. I mean, all of them have basically dropped off the face of the planet in like the past 2 years, so I think it's good that Gibraltar's still going.
And actually, talking a bit about like the sort of comparison there with the UK, um,
Yeah.
what would you say Gibraltar has that the UK doesn't? What sort of the positives of Gibraltar or the strengths that it
Um,
has compared to, you know, Sov's UK?
I'd say Gibraltar is much more. I don't know. It's much. I think it's more like kind of. It's smaller, so it's more of like a actual like community, I guess. When it's active and when it's going. Um, I'd say that it's quite unique in its kind of. It's like services, it's game. You know, the UK's been done quite a lot on Roblox, but you know, there's not many actual Gibraltars that have been tried successfully. Um,
Mhm.
I'd say Gibraltar's just interesting in general. I mean, it's got interesting history in real life. It's got interesting history on Roblox, so you know.
And actually, you mentioned other Gibraltars there. Have you
Yeah.
encountered other Gibraltars while you've been in charge?
Yes, actually. There was
Oh yeah.
one, only about 90 members, but I mean they had like I mean it was a very bad map, but they do exist. Um some of them. I mean, you don't see them every day, but I mean normally it's just people the one that we saw this year was just someone from our Gibraltar who kind of wanted to remake it but didn't really do it very well. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's just it really.
Have you ever tried to subsume these other Gibraltars? Because islands
Um,
have sort of subsumed other islands. Like there was Beerux Islands that they subsumed. He
yeah,
became group staff. Then there was Oscar's Island, I believe, also got subsumed, and he became, of course, he's the community coordinator guy now. He does
mm,
the event stuff. Obviously, Luke Fylan created a separate island at one point, and then that
yeah.
eventually merged it back into the Republic of Ireland. So, has there ever been anything like that considered in Gibraltar?
Um, I mean, we kind of just told him that obviously our Gibraltar's better. So,
Fair
I
enough.
mean, it's not like it had loads of members. I mean, I wasn't really gonna forcefully take them over or try to get them on board. It was more just the fact of um,